Good morning, beautiful people, and welcome back to yet another Sensei Cares video. So I've been rewatching my old content, and I have also been editing this content, and just from talking to my clients every single day, I noticed that I talk a lot over and over again, different ways. I just ask 5 questions at once, and the problem with that, I try to say everything, end up saying nothing. In the end, people just, what did you just say? So today I want to address minimalism in communication. So when I started my career in sales, I was very insecure about going into client meetings. You know, I was constantly asking myself weird questions. I was doubting myself. Things like, what if they're not gonna like the product? What if they freak out about the price, right? Like, this is an expensive product. Why would they buy that? And so what I did in order to compensate for those insecurities is I kept talking and kept talking. And I might have even made them dislike the product more than they originally did. Because at one point, the more you talk, you're just diluting the message. So think about it in terms of coffee. There's nothing inherently wrong with a caramel frappuccino or a gingerbread latte or whatever fancy drink Starbucks is offering at the moment, depending on the season. But you know what you're signing up for. So what if you wanted just a good brew of espresso? No sugar, no milk, just black coffee. So if you drink coffee that way, you will notice bad quality beans that otherwise, if you added, you know, the sugar, the cream, the caramel syrup and whatnot, would have been diluted. But here's the thing with communication and coffee. Bad quality can always be improved, but the wrong beverage will always be the wrong beverage. And the way we communicate is very similar. You know, sometimes we want that frappuccino. We enjoy when somebody is talking a lot. I enjoy watching my favorite YouTubers have a 45-minute blog just about their travel experience or some completely mundane day that they're living through. But most of our communication in our professional everyday lives is with people that expect us to make a point. They don't want the frappuccino, they want the espresso. I understand that it's scary to disappoint them, but if you have a point to make that point and it will be relevant to them. So in order to improve my own communication, I try to be very conscious of these things and adjust the way that I present information and the way that I argue in discussions accordingly. So and I think there are 2 key principles that I for myself identified help me stick to that. The more complex the topic that you're talking about, the simpler your sentence structure should be. So when I, for example, talk about strategic, argumentative, and presentation frameworks, I try to split up my sentences more and include less additional elements. And the second principle is use the simplest word that describes your idea most accurately. So to give you an example how not to do it, whilst researching on a different topic the other day, I came across the word sesquipedalian. So for those of you who don't know, sesquipedalian describes a word with a lot of syllables that is very long. And oftentimes it is used in order to describe someone who uses a lot of big and complicated words when it would have been easier to say the same thing. And in that sense, I thought that sesquipedalian is really the most sesquipedalian word there is because, first of all, it's super long and complicated. When you use it, nobody knows what you mean. And you could have just said using a lot of big words or using a lot of difficult words. So with that said, I think there's a huge trend across societies to use more words but end up saying less. And be that in sales, in advertising, on YouTube, in your professional or even your personal life. And ironically, at the same time, social media like Twitter and Instagram seems to have driven down our attention span to about 5 minutes maximum. So by now, we just try to speak quicker in order to fit the more content that we want to say into less time. And a lot of people think the more you say, the more important you become. But the reality is actually a lot of times people stop listening when you say too much.